Well, Kelly Jones, how could I not have a board-certified specialist in sports dietetics? I mean, like, really, that's a great title.
It is, and it's a fun career, I'll tell you that.
Okay. You've got such a strong background in nutrition. I thought I'm so excited to talk with you for my audience. Hopefully, they told you my audience is made up of people born between 1946 and 1964, and we know they're affectionately called boomers.
Yes.
And eating right, exercise, that's really important to them. I don't care what nobody else say. They say it's important to them. So let's get started with potatoes. I'd love to hear, what can potatoes do for our diet?
Yes, I love that you mentioned how important it is at this age and stage to eat well and move your body, and potatoes fit into this really beautifully. 9 out of 10 Americans are not eating enough vegetables, and it's probably because when people tend to try to eat healthier, they take things out of their diet that they enjoy rather than adding in the things that they need. And when you take things out, food becomes boring and you're back to square one again. So when I think of adding foods to your meals that are going to, of course, taste good, but add nutrition and then help you feel full and satisfied. And since 9 out of 10 people aren't eating enough vegetables, we want easy and enjoyable ways that we can have them in our diet daily. And potatoes do that for us. They actually are a nutrient-dense vegetable. No matter what you've heard, remember this: one medium skin on potato is going to give you nearly a third of the vitamin C that you need daily, 15% of your daily potassium, which is more than a banana, 3 grams of protein, and 2 grams of fiber. So it's really a nutrition powerhouse to add into your diet.
It's interesting you said skin on. I did hear you say
I
that. And
did.
I've got this post that came from, where did it come from? It came from Instagram. The poster said when they make what we call mashed potatoes, they no longer use cream, but they keep the skin on and mash the skin with the potatoes. Is
Yes.
this a good way to go?
Absolutely. Any way that you enjoy potatoes, you can keep that skin on. I do it all the time. It's not just the nutrition that you're getting, but it's also that texture. So when you're eating mashed potatoes, having a little bit more texture gives you a little surprise, may help you slow down, might help you enjoy your meal a little bit more. So I'm all about keeping that skin on.
Tell me, thank you. There you go, poster. Tell me about protein and how can potatoes help us reach that protein goal?
Yes, we know that protein's incredibly important as we get into our later years to help us maintain muscle mass, maintain functionality. Potatoes help give us a starting point for that with a meal. If we center our meal around a potato, you're gonna get those 3 grams of protein, and then you add other protein-rich foods, and you're in good shape. But another thing that's trending right now is fiber, and we can't lose sight of that because adding in more fiber and supporting gut health has so many benefits. And in addition to the 3 grams of protein, the 2 grams of fiber that you're getting in a potato is great, but they also have this feature where they produce something called resistant starch when you cook potatoes and then let them cool. And it actually acts kind of like prebiotic fiber, if you've heard about that. But what's most important is knowing that resistant starch may help you feel fuller for longer, is associated with better blood sugar control, and can support your gut health. So when you have a potato and another protein source at a meal, you're really getting the best of both of those trends to feel full and satisfied and support your health long term.
Tell me about a gluten-free diet, and how it intersects with potatoes.
Yeah, people may need a gluten-free diet for a variety of reasons, but instead of scouring every nutrition facts panel or ingredient label to see if there's gluten in a product, if that's you, just know confidently that potatoes are a gluten-free food naturally and are an easy swap into your favorite meals.
Tell us about some of your favorite recipes. You're the expert.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have an idea of their favorite potato recipes, but I've got 3 that you might not have heard about yet that can add some variety to your diet. So one is potato croutons. So instead of a traditional crouton, you're going to cube up potatoes, toss in some olive oil and your favorite seasoning, maybe Italian seasoning or paprika or even ranch seasoning like my son likes, and you're going to add that to a salad. So instead of just greens and a protein, which often don't leave people satisfied long term, you're adding in this nutrient-rich, energy-rich potato and also have that satisfying crunch there. Another option is to rely on that freezer and pull out some hash brown patties. Crisp them up in your toaster oven, add on some guacamole maybe, an egg, and you've got this wonderful, elevated, crunchy, and satisfying breakfast. And then my last option here is actually my favorite of the 3. It's a potato quiche. So you're gonna use shredded hash browns, press them into your skillet, let that crisp up, and then add in your egg mixture. Toss in whatever you enjoy. Here I have some spinach and some turkey sausage. You can, of course, add some cheese for more flavor and satisfaction, but it reheats beautifully so that if you like to prep ahead, this is ready any time of day. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, especially if you have a little bit of a busier schedule, pull it out, and then it's got less saturated fat than a traditional pastry crust on top of providing that extra vegetable too.
I want my audience to know that Kelly Jones is a board-certified sports dietitian also, among her many, many titles. Kelly, online, where do we go and get more information about you?
Sure. So for these recipes and more info on potato swaps, go to potatogoodness.com/potato swaps.
I want to thank you so much for making us hungry, first of all.
Yes, go enjoy some potatoes.
but in educating us, and potatoes is one of the few values at the store, so this is just perfectly on time for me and my audience.
Yes, great
Everything
value.
is so extremely high, and potatoes are, I guess no one's seeing those, they're still affordable. So
Yeah.
thank you so much
Go
for
grab them.
stopping.
Yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
having me.
You're a great guest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of The Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.